Welcome Tamers. Tonight I'll be talking about another deck profile video, this time with the release of the special booster version 2.0 from BT18-19 this Friday. I'll be going over one of the decks that really caught my eye, which is the Millenniumon deck. That one I believe is a really interesting deck. It has a lot of level 7s, there's a lot of on-deletions, you could do a lot of combo plays. So out of all the decks from that set, I believe it's one of the ones that I feel it's a lot of fun. And then it's similar to what we're expecting to get on the next half of the set, which is BT19-20, which is a lot of cross. I enjoy the mechanic. I feel like this deck in particular does something entirely different, and then plus we see more support for like Millenniumon, which was a card that came out a few sets ago. So it having received more support from the shows, like getting the new Moon Millennium, Z Millennium, you get cross DNA for using both Machine and Chimera to go into your big boss monsters is nice. You also get like a new option card, and then the Nene Tamer from this one doesn't only just work for Twilight, it also works for composite or composite, I don't know how to say it. I'm pretty sure it's composite Digimon. So hope you guys enjoy it. I'm still working on the ratios, on what I want to see in the deck do, what I feel like it's missing. But yeah, if you made it to this video, just leave a like and a subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next part. Alright, so here we go. To start off, we'll be going over the eggs. We are running 4 copies of the new Pagumon from the BT19-20 set. This one's the new purple Digi Egg, which is on deletion. If deleted other than in battle, return 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash to the hand. So this is a good way for you to recycle those rookies. A lot of the effects from the deck pop Digimon. So usually we don't tend to swing a lot early. The effects will pop our own Digimon, so we're able to get that rookie back and then just have another stack ready to go in the back if we need to. Also, a lot of other decks run different versions of Pagumon. I believe there's a black Pagumon that you reveal. If it's a black one, you reveal the top card of your deck. It's a Digimon, I believe you either leave it at the top or add it to hand, or if not, you trash it. I would have to double check on that one, but I know some lists do run it. And then another option you could do is the Demi Mera, that on deletion draw 1 trash 1. So that's another good way for you to set up your trash, because we do want a lot of things in trash. But for now, I'm only trying the Pagumon just because there's more convenient, right? We'll get into that in a little bit. But this one we're running it at 4. I'm gonna put it here in the corner. Next, moving into the rookies. This deck has 2 rookies in this set. For the deck specifically, which is this new one, which is the new Gizamon. This is cost 3. It's a 1k. It was for 1 on top of a black and purple level 2 Digimon, but if it's Pagumon, it was for 0. So hence why we're running the Pagumon, so we don't have to pay the 1 when actually digivolving. It's as an alternate cost. You could chuck to 1 if you want to, but I do like keeping turn, right? Or not waste any memory, because the deck is very memory hungry, so we want to be conserving as much memory as we can. And then as on play, it's by trashing 1 card with a composite or wicked god trait in your hand, you draw 2. A really good card for you to put those cards in trash and then recycle and get 2 cards out. And then inherent blocker's always good, really nice inherent. So this one we are running it at 4. Opening hand, I do want to see 1 just because I want to have this either just to hard drop it, start pitching things and drawing, right? So we're running this one at 4. Next we have the new Gazimon. That's an also 3 cost 1k, but this one's dual color, red and purple. The Gizamon is purple and black, so we are multicolor in this deck. Same thing, it evos for 1 on top of a purple and a red, but if it's Pagumon, it evos for 0. So it's very efficient, right, that we don't lose the memory when digivolving. right? And then this is the searcher of the deck. So you reveal top 3 cards of your deck. You add 1 card with Millenniumon in its name and 1 card with a composite or Wicked God trait among them to the hand, and then return to the rest of the bottom of the deck. And then inherent is a retaliation. So the fact that we get to add 2 hits, right, on our search, if we do manage to get both, it's nice. We could get a Millenniumon, which the top end is all Millenniumon in its name, right? And then also we could add a card with Wicked God or composite, which is a composite, right? So this one we are running at a 4. Next, final rookie. Right now I'm currently only running 10 rookies, so I'm running 2 copies of the BT18 Digimon. This one is a 3 cost 2k, 1k bigger than the other ones. Equals for 0 on top of purple, and then on deletion gain a memory. So this one we're running at a 2, and since we are popping our stack, we will trigger this on deletion gain 1 memory. So it's a good way for us to get that memory gain, right? Maybe not keep turn when doing certain plays. So we are running this one at 2. I know there's other options like the Digimon from BT15. That one has a, I think I have this one on the side, which is this, it's a 3 cost 1k. This is technically equals for 0, right? And then it has an on play that until the end of your opponent's turn, one of their Digimon gains on deletion lose 1 memory. So we could ping them with something, use another stack to pop their Digimon, and then they lose a memory, right? And then the alterns is when effect plays an opponent's Digimon, gain 1 memory. So I don't think we'll ever trigger the alterns, but it's a good way for us to just ping them and make them lose a memory. So that's like an optional rookie you could run. Another one would be like the memory blocker Digimon. A lot of decks in the format do gain a lot of memory off Digimon effects, so by having the Digimon, it'll prevent that from happening, and if anything, they'll invest more into deleting those floodgates rather than deleting your actual stack or other Digimon. So that's it for the level 3s. We are running now into the level 4s. We have 4 copies of the new BT19 Deltamon. This one's a 5 cost 5k. It evolves for 3 on top of a black and a purple Digimon level 3. But if it's a Gazimon or Gizamon, which is majority of the Digimon here are, it evolves for 2. So we want to see that 2 cost evo. Then this one has a 3 hitter in terms of like when its effect activates, which is on play, when digivolving, and on deletion. You, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete 1 of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimons. And then inherit is blocker like the Gizamon. This one is nice because we can play it off by an effect, right? Trash a card in our hand, pop one of their Digimon that's 4 or lower. When we go from Gizamon into him, we could trash a card, pop one of their 4 or lower. And then on deletion, it does the same thing. So we could essentially trash 2 cards and pop 2 things. If they have a pretty wide board, we could Digivolve, right? Promote, Digivolve for 2, trash a card, pop one of their 4s or lower, and then on swing, maybe we die in security or they block. On deletion, we would just trash another card and pop their Digimon. So it's a good way to remove those pesky blockers, kind of like the Psychmon. Those Psychmons will stop us from crossing, and that's a really hard thing to get around of. But purple having a lot of removal is really easy. And next up, we're going into the other level 4. I think right now I currently only have 2 level 4s, which is the other Deltamon, but this one's from BT18. This one's also 5 cost 5k, evils for 3, but this one kind of mirrored on a red and a purple. And then if it's Gazimon and Gizamon, evils for 2. This one does have raid, so that's a really interesting on it. And then it has on play when digivolving. By trashing 1 card in your hand, you return 1 card with a composite or wicked god trait from your trash to the hand. And then inherit is retaliation. So this one, if we pair it up with, let's say, the Gazimon that has retal, if their Digimon, opponent's Digimon doesn't have protection, we could go into him. We trash the card that we need, grab something back, we swing right into their Digimon, and the Digimon dies. So it's a good way for you to remove those big stacks that a lot of opponents tend to make with no protection. Also, you're able to recur stuff from your grave. So if you're missing a key piece to cross, or if you're missing a Millenniumon, you can digivolve into him or to hard drop him for 5, pitch a card, grab that back, right? So this one's we're running at a 4. Pretty much that was it for the level 4s. Now we're going into our 5s. We are running 4 copies of the BT18 Chimeramon. This is 8 cost 8k, evils for 4 on top of a purple, and a red level 4 for 4. But if it's Deltamon or at least composite trait, costs 3. So we're able to evolve on top of the Deltamons for 3. And then when digivolving, when attacking, by deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest TP. And then on deletion, one of your Machinedramon and one Chimeramon in the trash may DNA digivolve into Millenniumon from the hand, and then inherit a secure attack +1. So this one, we can cross into it, but it's what allows us to DNA into our Millenniumon. So this one, you digivolve for 3, you can pop something else on digivolve, or you could pop itself, right? When it pop itself, if you already have another machine on the field, on deletion you get the DNA, which is really cool. Also, sometimes when your Digimons can they get hit with Lord Nightmon that you can't, Lord Nightmon X that you can digivolve or make a cargo, you can pop those, right? So let's say they digivolve your machine, that machine can digivolve. You can choose to play this out, pop the machine, right? And then the machine's inherent. We'll go over it later. We'll trigger that DNA. So it's a good way for you to just keep popping your things to pop their things, right? So we're running this one at 4. Next, we have the 1 copy of the new Chimeramon from BT19. This one, it's 8 cost 8k as well. Same thing, evils for 4 on top of the purple and the red. But if it's composite trade, it evils for 3. Then this one has a on play when digivolving, by deleting one of your Digimon, delete one of your opponent's level 3, level 4, and level 5. And then on deletion, by deleting one of your level 4 lower purple or red Digimon, you may play Machinedramon from your trash without paying the cost. It does have Digicross, so it crosses with 3 level 4 with the composite trait. And then inherent effect is also secure attack +1. This one I'm only running on 1 of, just because we only have 2 composite trait level 4s. If we had more, I'll probably run a few more of these just because we have that consistent cross. But for the most part, we never have more than 2. So we'll always be crossing this for 6, which is a lot of memory. We can get it down to 5. But we could pop one of our Digimon to pop 3 other things, 3, 4, and a 5. It's also the on deletion, you have to have another Digimon on the side, like another level 4 or lower Digimon for you to pop, so that you can get that effect off, which is very hard to do in certain matchups where you can establish a board big enough for you to warrant dropping this, right, and then popping that Digimon or popping itself to then pop something else, right? So this one I'm just running the 1 of. I think our 5s, I only have the 5 level 5s. Hopefully we could get more support in terms of level 5s, but for now I'm only running those. Next, we're moving into our level 6s, which is then we're running 4 copies of the new Machinedramon. This Machinedramon is 11 cost 11k, it evils for 3 on top of a level 5 that's purple and black. But if it's a composite trait level 5 like the Chimeras, it evils for 3. Alright, and then it has a white text box ruling which just says, when this card will be played, by deleting one of your Digimon with a composite trait, reduces division cost by 4. And then on play, when digivolving, de-digivolve one all of your opponent's Digimon. And then on deletion, one of your Chimeramon and one Machinedramon in the trash may DNA digivolve into Millenniumon in the hand, right? And it has a rule trait that it's also considered composite. And then inherent effect is opponent's turns once per turn. When one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to one of your Digimon with a composite trait or Wicked God trait. So this one, we can hard drop it, pop. Let's say we have an existing stack of Chimeramon, we could pop this Chimeramon to reduce it further by 4. So instead of paying 11, we are just paying 7 to hard drop this to digivolve all their Digimon. And since we popped our Chimeramon, it would trigger his on deletion where like this Machinedramon that we just played is able to DNA in the hand into Millenniumon. So the combo for the most of the deck is just these two cards, where we are trying to get either or on, at least both on the field, to pop one or the other, right? So this one we are running it at 4, and then next we have the one copy of Machine from BT19, Millenniumon. This one's 11 cost 11k, evils for 3 on top of a level 5. That's purple and black. 3 if it's purple black, and then yeah, most of there's no rule text on this one, so it has to be purple black. And then on play, when digivolving, delete one level 5 or lower Digimon. So this one doesn't specify our Digimon, so we could target their Digimon. And then on deletion, you may play one level 5 or lower Digimon card with a cyber or composite trait from your trash without paying the cost. And then a Digicross material is 5 level 5 or lower cyborg or composite trait. So we do have 4 that we could run if we have, for the cross, we have the 4 deltas. And well, delta and the chimeras. So we have 4 sources for us to actually cross. So instead of going for 11, we'll go again for 7, right? And then it has the same inherent effect as the other Millenniumon, where one of your opponent's Digimon attacks may change the target to one of your Digimon composite trait or Wicked God. So this one, we could always do the same effect. We could arch up this dude, cross if we need to, and then pop our Chimera to trigger the effect, so that when he dies, we DNA into Millennium. So we're running this one at 1. That's it for the level 6s. There's nothing I would suggest right now in the terms of 6s, because that's what technically makes the deck work. So we can't really have another level 6, just because the new Millenniumon specifies both of them for DNA. So we're keeping this as a 4-1 split for both level 5s and 6s. And then moving on to our level 7s, which is a lot in the deck. We are running 4 copies of the new Millenniumon. This one's a 14 cost 14k, it evils for 4 on top of a level 6 as both red and either both red and black, or either or. And then when DNA digivolving, the rule text is Millenniumon and Chimeramon for 0. Then as an on play, when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if DNA digivolving, by returning one of each Digimon card with different levels from your opponent's trash to the top of the deck, gain 1 memory for each returned card. And then on deletion, by returning 1 Chimeramon and 1 Millenniumon from your trash to the bottom of the deck, you may play 1 Millenniumon from your trash without paying the cost. And then Digicross requirement, so it's both Chimera and Machine. It reduces by 2, so we could play this for 10, right, if we choose to hard cross it. So this is what facilitates our deck in terms of like playing things out. The fact that you can digivolve from trash, it's interesting. Also, his when digivolving, if DNA digivolving, is really good, because you can, let's say you play out a machine for 7, let's say you're at 3, drop this for 7, drop the machine for 7, you go to 3 memory, right, pop the thing, do the thing, DNA into him, pop one of their Digimon. The moment that you can look at their trash, and let's say they have a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6, you could place those at the top of their deck, and then by placing those 4, you gain a memory for each, so you're able to keep turn, right, because you're at 3, right? If you were at 3, 4, gain 4 memory, go to 0, still keep turn. Chimeramon's new Digimon, you could swing 2 checks, right? So that's the pretty interesting part in terms of like doing the whole thing, trying to get this one out. Also, the on deletion is really strong, because you bottom deck a Chimeramon and a Millenniumon from trash, you could play out another one. So the same ones that you had under, and let's say he got deleted by an effect, or you hit a security bomb, so the moment he dies, you bottom deck 2, play this out again. If you have cross materials, you could tuck them underneath. If not, you could still pop a Digimon on their side. And then if you have more than one machine and Chimera on the trash, you could keep looping this effect as many times as you can with the amount of machines and Chimeras that you have in trash. So I think this one's a really interesting card. Next, we're running 3 copies of the new Moon Millenniumon. This one's a 15 cost 15k, 8 evos for 5 on top of a 6 as purple. But if it's Millenniumon, evos for 2. This one is probably the strongest card in the deck from what I've been playtesting, just because it disrupts the opponent a lot. It has an on play. When Digivolving, your opponent trashes cards in their hand until they have 5 left. And then for every 2 cards trashed by this effect, delete one of your opponent's Tamers. And then all turns, when this Digimon will leave the battle area by deleting one of your composite trait Digimon, it doesn't leave. And then all turns, when another Digimon or Tamer, when other Digimon or Tamers are deleted, you may trash the top card of your opponent's security. So this one is able to disrupt your opponent's hand. So if you're playing against Mirage, you're able to go into this guy. You can bring them down back to 5 cards in their hand. And then for every 2 cards trash, you get to pop their Tamer. So if they have a lot of like Thomases, you're able to pop everything. Same thing if you're playing against Mother Shoto, they tend to have a bunch of Tamers. You can play this out, have them trash their hand if they have a lot, then pop all their Tamers. And then when that happens, the moment that Digimon or Tamer is deleted, you trash their security. This is a good way to chip at them without actually swinging. The all turns is cool. You could just pop another composite trait Digimon to prevent it from being play. So this one we are running at 3. And then the final Digimon in the deck would be the new Z Millenniumon. It's a level 7 that's 16 cost 16k, 80 euros for 6 on top of a purple and a red level 6 and black, right? So you could evo on top of 3 different colors. And then when it has a 2 cost evo on top of Moon Millenniumon, so you could still, you can digivolve this in the Millenniumon. You have to go on the order, so Moon, Millenniumon into Moon into Zed, so that way you have a big stack. It does have overclock for the composite trait, so at the end of your turn, by deleting one of your tokens or other composite trait Digimon, this Digimon attacks the player without suspending. So it's a really good way for you to swing without actually suspending. And then I'll play when Digivolving, when attacking, 3 different effects. It could trigger 3 different times. By returning one Digimon card from the opponent's trash to the top of their deck, return one of their Digimon to the bottom of the deck. Then all turns, this Digimon with no division cards can suspend and isn't affected by opponent's effects. So on play, you can, if you play this out by the option card that we're going to take a look at next in a little bit, you can hard drop them, right? Once this is hard drop, you place a card in trash, any card in the trash, to bottom deck their level 6, or if they have a level 7, you bottom deck their level 7, right? Same thing when you digivolve from Moon into him, do the same thing. And then if you go from if you swing, right, you could do the same thing. So you have multiple ways to like clear their board just by bottom decking it, by just returning a card from their trash to the top of the deck. You're kind of also like breaking them, just because maybe you might put all the top and stuff, right? So this one's an interesting card. I'm running 2 copies. The only bad part about it is that you can give it blocker if you have Shoto, just because if he has no sources, he can block. He's able to block if we have a stack, a big stack with a blocker inherent, but if he's just by himself, he himself can suspend. And also, good thing is he isn't affected by opponent's effects, so they can bounce him back. It's just a big body that we have. And then we have redirect. We could always redirect to him because he's 16k. A lot of things are pretty small. And then yeah, this one we're running it at 2. And then moving on, we're going into our Tamers. We are running 3 copies of the new Millenniumon from BT18-19. This 4 cost Tamer. She's a memory setter. And then all turns from one of your composite trade or twilight trade Digimon with digital cards requirements would be played by suspending this Tamer 1 card by suspending this Tamer 1 card under your Tamers, and 1 card in your trash can be placed for Digicross. So this allows us to reduce reduce play cost from both Chimera and Machine. So if we have something in source that we want in trash and we have 2 cards in our hand, or at least 1 card, we could use the Nene to digicross. Or if we're trying to go for Millenniumon, if we have 1 Machine in hand and then 1 Chimera in trash, we could cross with the Nene. So it's really good. Also, her memory sending us to 3 is nice. That way we don't get choked out 1 and then always have to pass turn when doing our plays. So that's why we're running her at 3. Next, I have 4 copies of Analog Youth, right? The EX1 Analog Youth, 2 costs. On play, you roll top 3, add a Digimon card, trash the rest, and then one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with division cards is deleted. You may suspend the same, or if you do, you get a memory and you hatch. Right, so this one is a good way for us to set up our trash early. If we do open this one, we want to play it out to real top 3, add a Digimon, trash the rest. So if we do see our Zeeds, Moons, and maybe not Chimeras, but maybe Machines, we could grab something else and trash those. That way we have our trash ready to go. So we're running this one at 4. Next, we're going into our options. We are running 3 of the new option from BT19, which is the Wicked God Descends. It's a Wicked God card, costs 4. And then main is you may play 1 composite trait Digimon from your trash with a play card reduced by 4, then place this card in the battle area. Then it has an all turns. When any of your Digimon with Millenniumon in its name will leave the battle area, you delay. You may play 1 Wicked God trait Digimon card with a play cost 1 higher than that Digimon from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Security effect is just places the bottom right on the battle area. So this is what allows us to actually do that DNA with Chimera and Machine, because we play this for, let's say we have 3 memory with the Nene, we're in a Deltamon, we promote, we Digivolve into Chimeramon. Let's say we choose not to do the on deletion on the Chimera, and then we're currently at 0 memory. We could Wicked God to play out the Machine that we have from in trash. Let's say we trash it early. We play out the Machine with the reduced cost of 4, which is 7, and then Machine can reduce further by 4 if we pop the Chimera that we just promoted. So we're already playing this for a cost of 3. So we're giving them 7 memory total, but we're able to do all the effects. This would trigger the Digivolve on all of the opponent's Digimon, and then when this dies, we DNA into our Millenniumon. Then when Millenniumon happens, we pop one of their Digimon, we return cards to the top of their deck, and we gain memory. So it's a very combo heavy deck, but this is what facilitates the combos to actually go off. Also, if you just want the delay to happen, you could just play out a Deltamon, right? Any of the Deltamons, you would only pay technically 5 memory because it's reduced by 4, so we just pay the additional memory. And then once let's say we have the Millenniumon set up and we have both Moon and Zed on trash, the moment they try to get rid of this, we could activate the delay to play out a 1 cost higher. So with Millenniumon being 14, Moon Millennium is 15, so that would be the next target for us to play. So we would play out the Moon Millennium and mess up with their hand, right? And then we would do the on deletion of the Millenniumon to like get rid of their Tamers, we get rid of their Digimon. So this one I am running at 3. And then lastly, for our options, I am running 3 copies of the Wisdom Training. This one's just generally good card, costs 2. You reel top 2 cards, add 1 purple card, bottom deck the rest. Delay, you reduce evos by 2. So this is what helps us cycle through the deck, find pieces that we need, reduce our evil cost from, let's say, Giza into Delta, and then that way we have the memory to go into our Chimeramon and not pass turn if we have the Nene. But a few options that I would want to run in the deck, just because now that I played it, I know some of its struggles against, I know the deck struggles against white decks that tend to like just spread out and pop out a bunch of bodies. I would probably run a Crimson Blaze because we have more than enough red. That way our opponents can go wide And if they hit Crimson Blaze and Security, just minus 6k to the field, pop any 6k. They can play Digimon by effects. Another one that I was thinking of adding, maybe cut down one of the Zeets for a Death X, just because it's another way for us to just get rid of like wide boards. Also, it evos on top of a machine, right? So we could evo on top of machine with the Death X. Another one that I was thinking of adding, what else? Maybe memory boost, just have a little more memory. Just because the deck is memory hungry. And then to run a little more of the force, I would run the promo Deltamon. That one would evo for 3 on top of the Gizamon, I think, and the Gazi. But it's able to reduce our evolution costs by 2. So we was evo for 1 into Chimeramon. So that one, it's another one that I was thinking of adding. I'm still tinkering with the deck. I do enjoy it a lot, so we're gonna see how this goes. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I feel like it's a really fun deck. I don't know if it's gonna be like a tier 2 deck, but it's pretty good in terms of like getting rid of your opponent's board. So that is it for the deck profile video. I'll try to do like a little combo part in the next part of this video, so I'll see you on that part right now. Alright, so I'll just do like a small little show of the combo that I feel like I've been using the most when playing the deck. Let me just move some stuff around. So right now on our trash, we have a machine, we have a moon, and then we have a Zeed. Just because maybe we saw let's pretend we had an analog youth. Let's say we turned to analog or something. Then we played this and this, right? So we have a Nene already on the field, so we're at 3 memory. Let's use this as a memory counter. And then we have a wisdom training. So we go to 3 out of start of return. We'll go ahead and promote, right? And then next we'll pop the wisdom to go into this Deltamon for free. We will draw our card. Next we will trash a card, since demonstrative purposes we'll drop this Chimera, right? So now that we're at 3 memory, what we could do is Digivolve into Chimeramon for 3, go to 0, draw for Evo. We won't do the on deletion like the when Digivolving. It's by deleting, so it's a May effect, so you don't really have to do it. And then now we will go 4 for the Heaven God's Wicked God Descends. So now we'll just play out a Machinimon that we just had in the trash. We'll play this out. We'll delete our Chimeramon to reduce this by another 4. So we're playing it for 3. So we go to 7. We'll Digivolve all the opponent's Digimon. And then his on deletion triggers. Since it was deleted other than in battle, we could grab a level 3 from trash. And then since this whole stack is in trash, we'll grab the Gazimon back. Next, we will do his effect, which is on deletion. One of my Machinimon can DNA with a Chimeramon from trash into a Millenniumon DNA Digivolve. So we'll go into Moon Millennium. We'll draw, and then we'll go ahead and pop one of their Digimon on their side. Let's say they had 4 different Digimon. We can set the memory back to 3, and then we'll tap the analog since one of our Digimon was deleted to gain another memory, and then we will hatch an egg. So this way we have set up our Millenniumon. Put them out 2 if they don't have a memory setter. Let's say they give us 1 memory. We go to 3 of the server turn. We'll draw our card, right? Maybe I think the better way would be just, let's say they pass turn to 1, trying to get rid of our Millenniumon, and then let's say they were trying to bottom deck it. We will then the better way would be deletion. Let's say they popped it with an option, or they digivolve and popped it for some reason. We'll trigger Wicked God Descends to play out the Moon Millenniumon, which is the one cost higher than it, right? And then it's on play with trigger. We would then mess up with their hand. We would trash the security. Once this finishes resolving, we'll resolve his on deletion, so by returning both a Chimera and a machine from the bottom from our trash to the bottom of the deck, which it's the same two that we had, we can go ahead and play out a Millenniumon from trash. So now we will play out this Millenniumon again. Since we were playing it, we can do the alterns, which we could cross. We'll go ahead and place this machine. We'll tap the Nene to grab something from trash, grab this Chimera, and then just delete one of their Digimon again. This time we don't get the memory gain just because we're not DNAing, but we're able to establish both a Moon Millennium and a Millenniumon, right? So next turn we could swing 2 checks 14, swing him at 15. So we're already swinging 3 checks right there. And then if we have the Zed, we could Eve on top of Moon, right? And then just overclock. So that's pretty much one of the combos. I do like doing that combo a lot more just because it's very consistent, and maybe I just want to stay in the back until I have my stuff in trash. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, go ahead and leave a subscribe. Hopefully I'll be posting more content with the new release of BT18-19. I think the next one might be a gameplay video of me piloting Millenniumon against a different deck. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next video.